So I had a recent dream that I'm actually going to use to my advantage to boost a sort of skill that I'm trying to improve on, which is overcoming my fear of confrontation. And I've been working on this because let's just say that luckily I have not had a crazy life where I had to get into fights or arguments or confrontation with other people. And in a way, that has made me soft, right? Because I'm just not used to having to do those things, right? Which I'm very grateful for. But at the same time, I need to make sure that if shit hits the fan, I'm gonna be ready to take care of business. And the reason is because I have two kids, I'm a single dad, and so what if something happens that like a shooter happens or a big argument with the kids or the kids' parents? What if something happens where I have to get into a confrontation and I need to make sure that I'm not freezing or getting scared or getting nervous, that I'm holding my ground, I'm staying firm, I'm talking my piece. And this past few months, I've been actually using AI to create different scenarios for me to practice in. So for example, I asked AI to create me a scenario if I'm arguing with another parent, if I'm arguing with my ex, if I'm arguing with the kids, if I need to negotiate a salary. Like I just gave it different scenarios where it's putting me in a position where I have to overcome some type of confrontation. And it's been working amazing. So let me just tell you about this dream that I had recently, because I want to tie that in a way, or I just want to use it to my advantage. Is that I had a crazy dream where I was walking in a warehouse and I was like a very fat version of me. And I was trying to hide from a demon, which looked like a werewolf. And obviously I'm big, it easily found me, so I started running. And then I purposely ran to an area where I had the higher leverage of overcoming the demon. And so when it got to me, I grabbed both of his legs and I just started smashing it left, right, left, right. It reminded me of the movie Avengers where Hulk, he grabbed Loki and he just started smashing him left, right, left, right. And so I knocked the werewolf unconscious. And so I dragged his body and ran towards a room that was like an enchanted room. It had markings all over the place, like it was meant to have some type of enchantment. And I had a sidekick behind me that closed the door behind us so they unlocked the room. I'm assuming the sidekick was my little kid. And then I just started enchanting Ha, Me, Ha, Me, Ha, just like in the show Dragon Ball Z from Goku. And it sounds so corny, but it was so epic because I still kind of remember the dream epically. And so I was chanting that as I had the wolf in a headlock. And of course, at the end of it, I obliterate the werewolf. And what's so cool afterwards was that my phone alarm rang right after I destroyed the demon. I was like, holy moly, that was so fucking cool, right? I had this crazy dream where a demon was chasing me, and then I was able to overcome it and whoop his ass, and I destroyed it with a cool move from Dragon Ball Z, and now I woke up right afterwards from my phone alarm. I was like, whoa, I gotta remember this. I gotta write this down. I gotta talk about this. And I'm not spiritual. I'm an atheist, so I don't really believe in any superstition, but I love the idea of using this dream as a way or representation of something that I'm trying to overcome, which is the fear of confrontation. And so I just use this to my advantage, and I use the wolf and the fat version of me as just a fear of something I'm trying to get over, which is confrontation. And me destroying the wolf was me showing that I was growing or overcoming or gaining in that skill, because I'm definitely much more, let's say, passive aggressive now. So if I tell my kid to do something, I'm just much more firm now. If I need to ask my coworker for something, I just go in there and just ask for it. But I noticed that I've been more confident and firm on my ask. I've definitely been in conversations before. It's just more of making sure my skill is sharp, making sure that I'm standing my ground more often, just making sure I'm getting better at it. Because like I say, there's nothing in life that's really constantly challenging me in these sort of situation. So let me just show you how I would use AI just to practice overcoming some confrontations, right? So for example, write a scenario of me arguing with another parent. Right, so then it's just gonna give me some script or some outline to use as practice on my own time. So you're at your child's school, a playground, or a public event, and another parent confronts you. Maybe they disagree with your parenting style, accuse your child of something, or overstep boundaries. You stay firm, control the situation, and de-escalate while standing your ground. Then it tells you how to use it. Read the other parents' line as they were saying them to you. Say your response out loud with a steady and confident voice, firm but not aggressive. Repeat until you feel comfortable handling that situation. And so it just gives you different scenarios to practice with. And then you would pretend you're your other parent, like your kid pushed mine. That's not okay, right? And then this is where I would come in and just start practicing. And I would go in front of a mirror, I would look at myself, and I would see how I'm reacting, see how I'm holding myself firm and standing my ground. And then I would just repeat these things. If that happened, I'll talk to my child about it. I wasn't there, so let's hear both sides before jumping to conclusion. All right, so I would just try to imagine myself in that situation and just practice this as much as I can until I feel more confident, until I get better at it. So some other scenario is when another parent criticizes your parenting style. Another one is the parent is too harsh on your child. So it just gives you cool different scenarios to practice in. I've been practicing this for a few months now. And it's just, I could tell that my confidence level has just increased because I am dealing with this imaginary scenario. It is imaginary, but it's just giving me the practice of speaking up my voice. Like I talk the voice out loud, right? So if I'm talking the voice out loud and I'm doing it daily, it is going to increase my skills of talking in general. And that's what I've been doing. And a little bit about my background is I have grown up in government housing, so I have come up from a very bad background. However, like I still was very introverted and secluded to my own room, right? I just stayed home all day, play video games. I try not to go out because I didn't want to deal with people. So I'm just isolation in general. And so this didn't give me a lot of experience of just arguing with different people, debating with different people, and just, as I mentioned, doing confrontation. And so this is why I'm just practicing, because I noticed that I just want to be better at handling confrontation because it's going to make me better at being a negotiator, at being a father, at being a coworker, or being whatever that it can help me with, because it's in a sense a communication type of style. And I think what happened is because, like I say, I'm just not used to the confrontation, which is why maybe if something happens, I would freeze versus handling it with confidence, because like I said, I just never been in that situation. And so because I get to practice it and just imagine a scenario, and of course it's not going to be a one-to-one of something that happened in real life, but at least it gives me some ideas on how I would talk, how I would confront it when that scenario happens. And you can use this for multiple things. So, and I use that dream that I mentioned earlier about the werewolf and about being a fat version of me as a way to sort of signify that, okay, I'm moving up. I'm increasing my confidence. I'm getting better at it. And I will continue to do this on a daily basis. I just spend it's only take like 5 minutes, and you just ask AI, like, hey, give me the scenario of negotiating at my job. Give me the scenario of arguing with another parent. That constant practice just makes me much better at it. Let me know what you think about just the idea of using AI, of using the dream as a way to overcome fear of confrontation. And I think this is a lot of people right now, because I am very grateful and I'm very lucky because I don't have to deal with all these craziness happening in the world. Like the daily exposure and the daily practice makes me better at doing this. And I notice I've become from passive to more passive aggressive, and I think I'm at a good spot now. I feel really good. And softness is not really a weakness, but when something happens, I just want to make sure I am prepared for it. Leave in the comments, like, have you ever had a situation where something crazy happened, an argument, some type of confrontation, a negotiation, something that involves confronting your fears? Has that happened, and what did you do with it? And what are you doing to get better at it? Because right now I'm using AI and I'm just creating scenarios and I'm practicing it in front of the mirror. And I'm using different facial expression, I'm using different tonalities, I'm using different voice. Honestly, it's very weird because I'm talking to myself and I'm using AI to do it. But daily conversation, it's like meditation. It's like anything else, right? If you do it daily, you're gonna get better at it. You can't help but feel it impact your life in some type of way. And I feel like because of that, I've just been a lot more confident recently. So if you enjoyed this video and just wanna stick around and hear more about my journey and things I'm overcoming as a single father of 2 kids, definitely watch the next video and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next video.